Guys, this is a pro level trick. It is super commercial, it gets insane reactions, and it is super easy to do. Let me show you what happens. So here's the thing that makes this absolutely impossible. The spectator shuffles the cards, right? They genuinely mix the cards. Now this isn't a perfect faro. A lot of people think I can do a perfect riffle shuffle. You can see big clumps of cards here, and they're genuinely pushed together. It really, really is a genuinely well shuffled mixed pack of cards. And we're going to use a couple of suits here. So I think we will use, should we go with diamonds? Let's go with diamonds, okay. So we'll remove all the diamonds from the pack, and then we need a suit to contrast that as well. So if we've got diamonds there, how about we use spades? Okay, we'll use spades. I go through and grab all the spades. Now remember, the spectators shuffle this deck, and that makes what you're about to see absolutely unbelievable. It's crazy. So, two suits, diamonds and spades. You get the spectator just to pick a card out of here, so they can literally have any card, it doesn't matter what it is. So in this case, 9 of spades, okay? And they leave it face up in this packet, right? Just like that. Now, this is the crazy thing, right? And just place the cards aside for a second, and we're just gonna deal through the cards. If we turn them face up, now, as I deal through, you can see that the cards are really well shuffled. Okay, they're mixed. And so at the moment, we're not getting any sort of coincidences. Okay, so the cards aren't matching. We've got a really well shuffled deck of cards here, nothing happening. However, where your 9 is, the card at the same position in this packet, I'm just gonna place these aside, okay, right there. We'll get back to those in a second. But for now, if I carry on like this, you can see the cards don't match. There's no matching cards. Nothing crazy going on here, like this. Okay, no matching cards. Here's the crazy coincidence though. Right at the point where the spectator put the 9, right at the point, they actually put it right next to the matching card, D9 of diamonds. That's pretty cool, right? I think that's pretty cool. We'll put them aside for a second. Now, a lot of people think, well, maybe that's a coincidence, right? It might be a coincidence. So we're going to take this to the extreme. If I take this packet and just give it a mix like this, okay, a really good mix, a shuffle, and maybe a cut as well. And I'll place these in a wine glass so that I can't get to them. No one can manipulate those. They're going to be in full view in the wine glass, which makes this kind of cool. So you say to the spectator, you are going to mix these cards. You can tell me whether to deal or to mix 1, 2, or 3 cards. So, for example, you might say deal 3 cards, okay? And then you might say mix 2, so I'd mix these 2. And you might say deal 1. Then you might say mix 3, so I'd mix 3. And then you might say deal 1. And then you might say mix 2. Okay, so it's absolutely up to the spectator what they do. And they've got a completely free choice here. So let's say they say mix 2, deal 1, mix 3, deal 2, mix 2, deal 1, and this is left. Okay, so it's completely random, right? They've got a free choice, whatever they do there, okay? Here's the crazy thing. We take another wine glass like this. This is a very elegant trick. And we're just gonna place these here, like this. Now check this out. They've been in the wine glasses the whole time. The spectator has shuffled the cards before we even started the trick, and they've just mixed the cards now. They mix these in whatever order, but now if we turn these around, you can see these cards match. But it gets better than that, because not only did these cards match, but the next ones match as well. And the next ones. And the next ones. Somehow, the spectator has taken a shuffled deck of cards and been able to arrange these without any idea how they've done it. They are perfect matching in order, every single card matching. Guys, people are going to be talking about this forever. This is such a commercial trick. You're going to love this. If you want to learn it, let's dive into it. Guys, you're in for a treat this week. I found an absolute killer matching effect. It is by Nick Trost. It is just phenomenal. And there's so much psychological manipulation and deception in this. You're gonna get a kick out of this every time you do it. And it is a real reputation maker, this one. So if you like it, hit the like button. If you've not already, don't forget to subscribe. We do tricks like this every single week. You don't wanna miss out. And if you've got any comments, questions, or ideas about the trick, pop them in the comments section down below. I do try to respond to every single comment that I get here on the channel. Also helps me out as well. So if you want to support me, drop me a comment, we'll have a chat everyone's a winner. And if you like what we're doing here on the channel, then you might like to take part in a live event that I'm gonna do on the 18th of May. It's a week tomorrow. 18th of May, I'm gonna do a Magic Masterclass live stream. So in other words, you get to come along, we get to hang out together, we get to meet each other, we get to chat, and I'm gonna teach you my top tier tricks that I don't teach anywhere else. I don't teach them on my YouTube, I don't teach them in my courses. In fact, the only place to learn these tricks is if you attend the live stream. Now, as well as the tricks, we also do a Q&A, so you can ask me anything you want about magic, and I'll give you tips, tricks, and advice on how to practice, how to get better, how to build your confidence, and it's just a fun time. So these are limited to 100 spots. So it's like when these are sold, that's it. You can't get access to it after that. So if you want to take part, I'm going to drop a link over here. I will drop a link down in the description down below. Follow it, sign up. Let's hang out, and I will see you on the 18th of May. It's gonna be awesome. Don't forget, if you wanna stay up to date on when I'm doing my live streams, or you want exclusive discounts on any of my magic courses on mymagiccourse.store, you can sign up to the newsletter. It's completely free. You also get tips and tricks and advice as well. I'll drop a link to that in the description below. Follow it, sign up, and you'll stay up to date on everything. But right now, we're gonna get into the explanation for this one. I know you're gonna love this, guys. Grab a deck of cards. Let's do it. All right, guys, so let's get into the explanation for this one. This is literally one of my favorite matching effects ever. It's super commercial, it's super powerful. People don't expect the ending, and it is so much easier than what you would imagine. There's literally no sleight of hand in this. I've taken it all away. So there's a small setup involved. All you need to do is remove your diamonds and remove your spades and put them into the same order. So it doesn't have to be this order, it can be any order, providing that they're both in the same order. So best way to do it is take your diamonds out, shuffle them up, spread them out, and then put your spades in the same order. Okay, and that's how you set this. Then what you're gonna do is just square them all up, and then in the spade packet, you're just gonna cut one card from the back to the face, like that. And then that's it. And then you're gonna put your spades on top of your diamonds. Then you're gonna get the rest of the deck like so, and you're gonna put that setup now on top of the deck, okay, and you're good to go. So there's a little setup, but this is so powerful and it's such a reputation-making trick. It is definitely worth it. Don't be put off by the setup. The thing that makes this super strong is the fact that the spectator shuffles the cards. And here's the only little caveat that you need to do. When you cut the deck, you just need to cut below that setup. Okay, so you've got all your diamonds and spades there. So the only thing you need to do is when you cut the deck, cut deeper than half of the deck. All right, and you can see this quite easily visually like that. Just cut deeper than half the deck and cut them across like that and ask the spectator to shuffle. So they would then shuffle the cards like this, right? Now this, believe it or not, is not a perfect riffle shuffle. A lot of people think that I can do perfect riffle shuffles at speed, from one of the comments in the previous videos. I can't. Look, there's chunks here, there's 3, there's 4 here, there's like 2. It doesn't need to be perfect at all. So you can get them to shuffle like that. If they can't do a riffle shuffle, because I'm no doubt gonna get that question in the comments, then you would just do the same thing. So you cut this way, like that, above half, to the right, and then you can just do a Rosetta. So in other words, you can spin these around like this, spin these around like this, and this is Leonard Green's Rosetta Shuffle, only this is genuine, so that you just get them to mash the cards towards each other like that. And it's basically the same as doing a bit of a clumpy riffle shuffle, okay? So square these up and really emphasize the fact that the spectator shuffles the deck, okay? So when you do if they do a riffle shuffle and you spread them out, really make a thing of pushing all the cards together, and telling them, you shuffle these cards. That's what makes what you're about to see impossible. So now you get the cards towards yourself, and what you're going to find is all the diamonds are towards the back. So what I'll genuinely do is I'll say, okay, we'll take the diamonds out and I'll just put the cards facing me so that they can't really have any idea that they're towards the back, and then you remove all of the diamonds in order. So as I go through like this, don't miss any diamonds because they have to come out in the exact order, otherwise the trick won't work. So take all of your diamonds like that, strip them out, put them down, okay? And then you say, and we need a contrasting suit, so let's go with spades. So again, and you can lower your hands now because the spades are pretty well distributed through the deck. So make sure you get all of your spades, don't miss any, because otherwise it's going to screw up the order. Oh, that was a terrible riffle shuffle. Look at that. Right, that's because I used the Rosetta. So, take your spades out, put the rest deck aside. You don't need it. So now you're going to turn these face down, like so. And you're going to get the spectator to choose a card from the spade packet. So pick up the spade packet like this and just go nice and slowly, because ideally you want them to choose a card near the middle. It's not terribly important, but just aesthetically it's better. So go nice and slow, just say touch the back of any card like this. They touch a card, doesn't matter what it is. And all you're going to do is when they touch the card and you have them draw it out of the spread, I'm just going to now do a small transfer. Now originally you had to use like a finger break here or something. I've completely eliminated that. All you need to do is when they take the card, say have a look at the card, your hands come back, and I'm just going to push one card from here and put it underneath these cards like so. All right, and it's just as simple as take the card, okay, have a look at the card, and as my cards come back, I just do that. No one's looking, and it's not like a massive move anyway. So then you ask them to put the card back face up, which they'll do, and you just square it into the pack like so. You say, right, you shuffle these cards. We're just going to go through them now, okay? And it's literally like you do nothing here. You just start dealing the cards face up, and you point out that the cards are really well mixed. Not in any kind of like sequence, and the cards at the moment, they're not matching. Don't say at the moment, that'll give the game away. But when you get to the face up card, like this, the card that's face down now, this is the card that's gonna match. It's cool that, isn't it? So, all you do is you place these cards aside, like this, you just put them aside, we'll get back to them in a second, and keep showing that these cards are not matching. And you go through, and you say, look, really well mixed. I mean, you shuffle, so, you know, it is really, really well mixed and shuffled up deck. Turn these face down. That way all the emphasis is on these, and now at this point you can say to them, for the first time, let's have a look at where you stopped. You stopped exactly in the second packet, and these cards match perfectly. Now that's a great trick. That'll get great reactions. However, now you're going to take it to a whole new level, and there's a bunch of psychology here that you're really going to enjoy. So we'll put them there for now. With these packets, what we need to do now is with the diamond packet, we need to transfer the top card to the bottom. Originally, this was a double undercut, but I've made it so much easier, because all you're going to do is you're going to use the top card to scoop up the packet, and you've now just eliminated a double undercut. Yeah, super, super easy, right? You can then do one of two things. You can then take this packet and just put it straight in the wine glass. However, I like to just mix these. This is a little shuffle, it's called a Charlier shuffle, and it's just a casual mixing of the cards. It looks like you mix the cards, but actually you're just gonna put them right back in the same order. You're gonna push a few cards off into your right hand, like this, and then a few cards from the bottom of this packet, but what you're gonna do is you're gonna out-jog them. So if you think about this being out-jog, I'm gonna out-jog a few, like that. So I'm just gonna push a few, it doesn't matter how many, but what you want is, you want this sticking out here, all right? So I'll just push a few, and then I want that sticking out, so I want to keep track of this card, because you're going to cut there later, okay? And then you're going to put some on the bottom, again, from the top of here, so from the top, and then from the bottom of this packet, again, you're going to push these on top. Again, I'm keeping track of that card that's sticking out, and then these go on the bottom, okay? Like so. Now you've got this card sticking out. Now, if you're a pro, you know how to do this. You can now just push down on this, and then cut, but you don't even have to do that, guys. What you can do is you can just grab all of these cards underneath and cut the cards like that. So now you don't even need a finger break, a thumb break, nothing. So if you want to put that in, it's a really nice little move where it basically looks like you casually mix the cards like this, okay? But actually, it's done nothing. It's not mixed the cards at all. These are now in the same order. So now you would put these in the wine glass. I'm not going to use the wine glass on this angle, just so you guys can keep track of what's happening. But you put them back outwards in the wine glass to say they are isolated, and there's no way I can manipulate them. So the idea is you're being super fair there. Now you're going to get the spectator to mix these cards. It's a really deceptive move called a switch swindle by Paul Curry. And it looks like this. It looks like, well, you say to them, you can tell me to deal or switch 1, 2, or 3 cards. So I might deal cards like this, or I might switch them. I might deal 1, you could say like deal 2, so I'd deal 2, or you could say switch 3, so I'd switch 3. I'm gonna deal these however you want. Now that looks like you've really mixed up and shuffled the cards, and you're also now gonna give the spectator the chance of saying, well, deal or switch 1, 2, or 3 cards. But if I put these aside for 1 second, and we'll get back to them in a minute, I'll just show you exactly what's happening with this. So these cards are in order. We've got the ace through king. The idea of this is if I do the exact same thing, so I say, okay, we'll switch 2, deal 1, switch 3, deal 2, switch 2, deal 2, and then the 1. So it looks like a completely random sequence, right? But what's actually happened is you've simply just reversed the order of the cards. It is all psychology. And here's how it works. If I was to say deal 2 cards, right? Look at the order, ace, 2, right? That's dealing. However, if we say switch 2, I would do that, switch 2, and put them down. It's the exact same order. It doesn't matter whether you deal or switch. But it seems like you're giving the spectator so many chances, 1, 2, or 3 cards, and you can tell me to deal or switch them. So they might say deal 1. Again, you can see the cards coming out in order. Or they might say switch 2. So again, you switch 2, you put them down. You can see how the order's not changing, it's just psychology. They might say switch 3. So 1, 2, 3. And again, you can see the cards are still remaining in order. Or they could say deal 1, switch 2, or deal 2. It doesn't matter. All that's happening is you're reversing the order of the pack. But it's a beautiful swindle. It's really, really clever. So that's how this works. So before I cut into that, and I was telling you about that, is I reverse the order of these cards. So you're explaining to the spectator, well, this is how it works. If I was just to do that again, actually, let's pick up from before, when you've just done the match and you get to this point, you've put them in the wine glass. Now you say, you're gonna mix these cards so you can tell me to deal or switch 1, 2, or 3 cards. And now you demonstrate, you do it. You say, okay, well, you might tell me to deal 3 cards or switch 2 or deal 1 or switch 2 or deal 3. It's completely up to you. So you're demonstrating what you'd like them to do. So now you give them the choice and you say, well, tell me to deal 1, 2, or 3 cards or switch 1, 2, or 3 cards. It's up to you. So they might say switch 2, deal 1, switch 3, deal 2, switch 2, and switch 2. All right, they might say something like that. After they've done it, these 2 packets now are in the exact same order, which is fantastic. So at this point, you take these and you put them into the wine glass, okay? And you'd have them back outwards in the wine glass and you would spin them round, okay? And when the wine glasses spin round, that's when they're gonna see this match, and that's a moment. So make a thing of that. You know that all the cards are gonna match, they don't. When you spin the wine glasses round, boom, that's another moment. So you have this going on. Right, now you've got 2 cards matching. And then you can go through pulling the cards out of the wine glass, and one by one they see that all of the cards are matching every single card, and it's just such an unexpected and impossible climax to this trick. It gets insane reactions. If you love the trick, hit the like button. If you've got any ideas or comments, drop them down below. If you haven't subscribed, don't forget to subscribe. We do new tricks every single week. And if you want a new video to check out this one next. It is absolutely awesome. I will see you guys in the next video.